Hi everyone. Jai Hind. Hello, hi Priyanshu. Jai Hind. Ankush, Jai Hind. What's up? Hello. Jai Hind, buddy. Ishant, Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Sangwan, Jai Hind. Veer Bhogya Vasundhara. Ankit, Jai Hind. Hello. Harshit, Jai Hind. Good evening, Ram. Hi, Pallavi. Hi everyone. Welcome. We'll wait for around 2-3 minutes for the rest of them to join. Garv, Aradhya, Lakshya, welcome everyone. Hi. Jai Hind, Sagar. Hi, Abu, welcome. Tanveer, Hariom Singh, welcome all. Aniket, hi. Okay, we'll just wait for another minute and we'll start off. Guys, a small disclaimer before we start today's session. Any doubts you have, whatever it may be, just make a note of it and I'll open the session for doubts at the end. So avoid asking questions during the session. Let it be interactive. I'll keep asking you to type your doubts, but only relevant doubts relevant to the topic which I am covering at the point. So do not ask about exam tips, SSB tips, or some medical questions or anything else you have during the session. That will all be answered at the end. So keep your questions ready and you'll be getting a chance to ask them at the end. Jai Hind, Jai Hind. Okay, I think we are good to go. So as I told you, the agenda for today is outdoor group tasks. Mainly the progressive group task, half group task, and the command task. These are the tasks in which a little bit of your intelligence and most of your group behavioral etiquettes, everything is tested in these. And these are some tests for which you cannot go prepared. This is spontaneous, and your intelligence and your other qualities become evident during these tests, which is why they are very important. So I have this PowerPoint presentation with me. I'll be using this to explain. I hope it is visible to all. Say yes or no in the comment. I'm assuming it is visible to you all. Let me just shift the camera a little. Just a second. Yes, I think it will be visible this way. Yes. Okay, I can hold it this way and continue. So today we'll be covering 3 main tasks. The others we anyway know, but still for the benefit of everyone, I have created this. Oh, it's reversed. Okay, because of this selfie camera thing, na? So 1 second. I'll do this. Let me just flip it. I'll use the opposite camera, as in I'll just turn the camera to the other side and do it while I'm using this PPT. Otherwise, while I'm explaining, it will be facing me. So as most of you already must be knowing, the GTO tasks consist of a few indoor tasks and a few outdoor tasks. Indoor tasks consist of group discussions, group planning exercise, and lecturate. These 3 are considered to be indoor. Outdoor tasks are progressive group task, half group task, command task, group obstacle race, and full group task. Group obstacle race is also called snake race because you'll be carrying that big structure which is usually in the form of a snake, which is why it is also called snake race. So these are the GTO tasks. For this you don't need a presentation. Whenever it is required, I'll just show it to you. Okay, so what is progressive group task? I'll just show you this thing and let me flip the camera. I think it's visible, everyone. So yeah, progressive group task usually consists of 4 obstacle courses. They are simple puzzle type of structures which are created on ground for you to cross using support material. The support material given are these: rope, also called rassi, pole, which can also be called balli, and this wooden plank, which is also called fatta. So rassi, balli, and fatta: rope, pole, and plank. So these are the support material given to you, and there will be usually a heavy load given, which is usually a steel bucket kind of structure in which mud or something of that sort is filled. And it is told that it is a fragile substance, as in you should assume that it is a very sensitive thing, like a glass material or a bomb, which if handled roughly is not acceptable. So in the progressive group task, this is usually the structure that is followed. There is a start line and there is an end line, and in between there will be your first obstacle. Then there's a place in between where you just cross over, and from the starting line of the second obstacle, you use the support material to cross over and go to the finish line of the second obstacle. Similarly, the third and fourth. And usually it is seen that the difficulty level increases. The first obstacle is very easy. It is usually completed in 2 to 5 minutes. The second obstacle is a little difficult, which takes around 10 minutes for a normal group to crack. The third obstacle is a little more difficult. Ideas are not very easily coming to the candidates, and which is why it happens that it may take more than 15 minutes sometimes. Or if there are some intelligent chaps in the group, it is usually completed before the time limit itself. And the fourth obstacle is usually the most difficult. Some of the times it is seen that the group cannot crack it at all. That is, they cannot think of any solution. Or sometimes it is solved, provided there are some intelligent chaps in the group and there has been good cohesiveness among the group mates. So this is the basics of PGT. So this is what I have just written. There are 4 obstacles in increasing order of difficulty, as I told. Each obstacle has a start line and finish line. And before the task, the GTO briefs everyone and shows them the structures himself. Like he takes you to all the 4 obstacle courses and shows you what all needs to be done, and he'll explain you the rules. So I'll go to the rules now. What are the basic rules? As you see, these are the 5 main rules which apply for progressive group task, command task, and half group task, also to the final group task. So let me explain what these rules are one by one. Rule of rigidity. The first rule, which is rule of rigidity, says no two solid support material can be tied together. That is, you cannot take a plank and another plank and tie them together to extend the length. Or similarly, you cannot tie 2 poles, or you cannot tie a plank and a pole. That means 2 rigid support material cannot be tied together to extend the length and cross the obstacle. That is not allowed. But what is allowed is you can tie one of the support material to the structure given. Using a rope, you can tie it to the structure given over there, and you can place the other support material on top of it without tying. That we'll see how it is done. There are some techniques to do this, so that can be done. 2 solid support material or helping material cannot be tied together. That is a rule of rigidity. Coming to rule of infinity, this says the start line and the end line extend on both sides to infinity. That is, you should assume that the start line and the end line are infinite length lines, which basically means you cannot cross over from the sides. Let me tell you using this diagram. Here, 1 second. Yeah, these lines which you see, this finish line is extending to infinity on both sides, and even the start line, it is extending to infinity on both sides. That means you have to cross the obstacles through this gap and cross over like this, and you cannot say, since there is no obstacle here, I'll come this way and just come to the other side. So that is basically a rule of infinity. And coming to color rule, this is a very important rule. Most of the times it is seen that candidates falter in this rule. So usually in the obstacles, we see three colors. Let's take this example only. There is red color seen here, there is blue color, and there is white color. So in all the obstacles, these are, and in some boards instead of blue, yellow is used. So that is up to the board. So anyway, that is not our concern. So basically, let us assume there are three colors, red, blue, and white. So red color is out of bound for both the candidates and the helping material. That is, you cannot step on the red color, or you cannot place any helping material or the load. Like you cannot place a rassi, fatta, balli, or even this. This is the load. So you cannot place this also on red, and you cannot put your foot also on it. So that is red. Coming to blue, a candidate can step on the blue color. That is, it is inbound for the candidate, but out of bound for the helping material, which means you cannot place any support material. That is the rope, the plank, the pole, and even the load for that matter on blue. But you can cross over it. You can stamp blue color with your feet. You can cross over any obstacle which is painted blue, but nothing of the helping material sort should touch it. So that is blue color. Coming to white, it is inbound for both the support material and the candidates. So on white, you can place these support material given to you. Usually you cannot place the load because it is assumed that it is fragile. So the load is always carried by a person. Otherwise, you can just cross over these white structures by keeping the support material on top, or by simple crossing by either putting your feet on it. So that is the color rule. Let us go to distance rule. So distance rule says any distance which is greater than or equal to 4 feet should not be crossed with force, or you should not jump over. Usually we see that any physically well-built candidate can easily jump a distance of more than 4 feet and cross the obstacle. So that way, if I say from here to this end line, if you have to cross, usually any person can easily jump over and cross. So that is not allowed. Any distance which is more than 4 feet needs to be bridged and then crossed. So that is distance rule. Fifth rule, a very important rule again, group rule. So it says until all the group members have crossed over one obstacle, no member of the group should proceed to the next obstacle. Let us go to the previous picture. This. Let's see the group. Let's say you are a group of 8. You begin here. Until all of you cross this finish line and all the 8 of you are in this area, no one should start the second obstacle. That is, no one should come to the start line of the second obstacle, and for that matter, you should not even look at the obstacle. That is, you should not start planning for the next obstacle before your entire group has crossed. So it is for a purpose. These rules have been designed keeping in mind your group behavior and other psychological aspects. We'll discuss them in due course of time. The basic rule is until everyone crosses over, you should not look at, or you should not try to cross the next obstacle. That is the group rule, and this applies in the group obstacle race as well. That is the snake race. So we have covered the 5 basic rules. Now let us go to a method of bridging. So usually these are the kind of obstacles seen. I have many other pictures. I'll be sharing them on the WhatsApp groups for your practice. But usually these are the kind of structures seen. If you look at them, they seem very easy. But when you go on ground, getting ideas and doing it in the heat of the moment, is pretty much a challenge to most of the candidates. So the basic technique, if the distance is less than 4 feet, you either jump or you can just put a plank and walk over. Simple. If the distance is less than 4 feet, like let's consider this first obstacle over here. We cannot assume looking at the picture, but on ground, if you think that it is less than 4 feet, then you can just put a plank directly from here to here and walk. Or if it is even nearer, that is something like 3 feet or 2 feet, you can just cross over directly. So that is for less than 4 feet. And the distance is between 4 and 7 feet. That is a little more than 4 feet, but not too much like you need 2 or 3 support materials. So usually you can just put a plank between 2 points and cross over. Or if that length is more than the length of the plank given, then you need to start using your tactics or solving methods, which we'll be seeing from the next slide. So this is the basics of how to cross an obstacle. Now in this picture, you can see how it is being crossed. So this distance is clearly more than 4 feet. So although a candidate from here can easily jump over to this place, it is not allowed. You need to bridge this gap and then walk. Similarly in the other obstacles also. Here usually a candidate, if he is standing here, if he is physically courageous enough, he can jump over and stand here. But that is not allowed, and it is not safe also. So these rules apply. This is for the beginners who have not seen these obstacles. For the repeaters, you must be knowing all these rules anyway. So this is one obstacle which I just included. This is the technique to solve these obstacles. We'll see, this is a basic physics principle. This is called a lever. So assume a point where the obstacle is kept on a solid substance. That is either on the ground with a pointed structure or at a height. So I'll take an image for to make it easier for you to understand. I'll just explain the principle first. On one side, you will be putting the effort. That is any solid substance which is a fixed structure or something which has been designed in such a way that it is stable at one end. And on the other end, if you put a load, it is counterbalanced and the structure becomes stable. So that is the basic theory behind this lever. Let us go to taking an example. So in this, in the comments, can anyone tell me where is the effort, where is the pivot, and where is the load? Anyone? 25 of you are here. So anyone can just comment and let me know. I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Let us keep this a little interactive. Tell me in this image, where is the pivot, where is the effort, and where is the load? Anyone? I'll show you the theory again. See, this is effort, as I told you, is something solid. It is not a human standing. It is a fixed thing. And load is usually the helping material or the human who stands, for whom effort is the support structure. And pivot is the solid which is already there below. Yes, Lieutenant PMS, that is correct. Load is this. No, load is not the structure. See, I'll tell you. The point on which this plank has been placed, that is this thing over here, this structure. This is the pivot. This thing, this vertical, I mean, from here it looks vertical, but it is not actually. This plank over here, this solid obstacle, that is the effort. which is putting a balancing force on this plank. So this is the pivot, this thing is the effort, and whoever stands over here or any other support material placed over here, usually a candidate will stand on top of this, so he will become the load. So pivot, effort, load. I hope that is clear to you all. We'll see another example. We'll understand this a little better. In this image, tell me which is the effort, which is the pole, pivot, and which is the load. Comment guys. Tell me where is the pivot, where is the effort, and where will be the load. Right is load, yes, correct. Here on the right side there will be the load. Stone is the pivot, yes, correct, Aniket. What is the effort? Yes, this vertical bar over here, this point where it is touching, this point is the effort. Yes, correct. Pole is the effort, brick is the pivot, and load is what is going to stand on this end. Yes, correct. Sahil, left pole is the effort, stone is the pivot, and whatever comes over here will be the load. So the basic principle is on opposite sides of the pivot, one end there will be an effort, and on the other end the load can be counterbalanced. That is the effort is usually infinity. See, how much ever weight you put on the other end, in an ideal scenario where the plank is assumed to be a very solid structure which won't break, you can put infinite weight on the other side. This is as per theory, but practically it won't be possible. You can put like 100 kgs, 200 kgs on this end, and still this structure will be stable. So that is the basic theory behind this. Now identify in this what is the pivot, what is the effort, and what is the load. Comment. I hope it is clear, the image. Load is on the right hand side. No, that is wrong. On the right hand side, this is the effort. This is not the load. Load is something which is going to come here on the left. Pole is the effort, correct? So guys, this stone on which the plank is placed, this is the pivot. This point where it is being stabilized, and this is the effort. And left hand side will be the load. Currently there is no load kept, that is no candidate is standing. So this is the basic pivot, effort, and load theory. Yes, here also the same analogy applies. Now tell me guys, in this, what is the pivot? Load is the left side, correct? The previous obstacle is done guys, don't answer that, answer this one now. Where is the effort, where is the load, and where is the pivot in this structure? Pivot is in the middle, correct? This point where the plank is kept on this other plank type structure, that is the pivot. Rope is the effort, correct? Bench is the pivot. Sagar Rawat, very well answered. So this point where the rope is stabilizing this plank, that is the effort. This point where the rope, the plank is kept on this other solid structure, that is the pivot. And here whoever stands on this, he will become the load. That is, if this candidate walks over and stands on this, he will become the load. Effort is the rope. Pivot is this point where these two planks are touching. And here there will be the load. Let us go to the next image. Tell me in this, what is the pivot, what is the effort, and what is the load? Come on, comment fast guys. I'm waiting for your answers. Where is the pivot, where is the effort, where is the load? Bench is the pivot, exactly, correct. Next. Bully is the effort, correct? And the load will be coming over here. This is also a simple one, which is mostly covered in the previous obstacle as well. This point where this plank is kept on this structure, that is the pivot. Effort is this pole, that is the bully on top. This point is the effort, and load comes over here. Any person who will stand over here on top, he will become the load. So the basic principle is when you find any point and you can see that there's an effort evident in the picture, or here it is a level 2 or level 3 obstacle, I would say, because there is no effort evident. So you have to create the effort yourself. In some of the obstacles, the effort is visible. You just need to bridge. You just need to place the plank on the pivot and attach it to the effort. And on the free end, you can easily place the load. That is usually the easier obstacle. But over here, this plank and this pole both have been placed by the candidates themselves. So you have to think of creating the effort over here. So this is a slightly difficult obstacle. With basic practice, you can learn all these, not a challenge. Yes, in this also, similarly, this point that is on this pole where the fatta is placed, this is the pivot. This rope becomes the effort, and this candidate standing over here is the load. So this basic principle, if you follow the theory of pivot, effort and load, you can pretty much solve all the obstacles in this PGT and command task. This is the one biggest theory you need to learn. Yes, man is the load, rope is the effort, and this point is the pivot. Correct. Yes, Bali is the pivot. So yes, I have covered the basic theory. This is how you cross most of the obstacles. Like until the fourth obstacle, or even in the fourth obstacle, this one principle, if you master, if you can clearly think of where I should put my pivot point, where should be the effort, and on the opposite end, usually we can place the load. If you can think of this idea, there are many other images I'll be showing you. You can think of ideas there, and you can tell me where you need to place the support materials so that you can easily cross over the obstacle. So this is the basic theory. Whether everyone here has understood or not, I want to know. Just comment yes or no. If you have understood, just say yes. If you want me to explain it further, say no. Comment fast, guys. Has everyone understood this basic concept of pivot, load and effort? That is the lever concept. Tell me yes. Good. Yes. Clear. Yes. Anyone with a no? Yes. Good. Anyone with a no? But the distance is small. Is it useful? Yeah, this is just to demonstrate. And we may assume this distance is small, but in the actual, it may not be like this. These are just practice structures in some coaching academy or something. So it's all right. That is not our concern. We are looking at learning the concept only now. Okay, I assumed everyone here has understood this basic concept of levers. Let us go to the next slide. These are some basic suggestions which I have listed down for succeeding in these tasks. I'll just flip the camera. This is something I can tell you by myself. So yes, we have understood this theory behind most of the obstacles in PGT, HGT and command task, also the final group task. So this concept of lever, this single concept can be used everywhere. These three support structures should be utilized in an effective manner for you to create the pivot, effort and the load. So that is a simple technique you need to follow. This doesn't need any practice or knowing some scientific or high level physics concepts also. This is simple logic. You don't need to know these terms also. You don't need to know what is an effort, what is a pivot, what is a load. All these are also not required. It is just for you to understand or remember. I have been telling you these things. Otherwise, it is not required also. So some basic things or tips, I would say. You guys are always fond of tips, right? So I'll be giving you some tips today. Try to be an active member of the group. That is, do not be too laid back or just wait for others to innovate and you just keep following. Or do not be hyperactive also, like everything I'll do, I'll carry all three on my shoulders and I'll only create the ideas. I'll just make the group follow me. That is also not desirable. Be an active member of the group, participate well, and do not push each other or do not try to dominate the group activity, which definitely creates a negative image on you. So try to be an active member of the group, participate well, and do not over dominate others. This is one very important thing you need to follow. And always try to find a solution to the next obstacle, that is not the entirely next obstacle. Within between the start line and the finish line, there are multiple small obstacles, usually 3 to 4. By the time you cross, you would have at least solved 3 to 4 obstacles to cross one obstacle course. So while the group is solving the first one, if you have already given the idea, if just the implementation is remaining, you can start looking at the next piece of the puzzle and try to solve the upcoming obstacle. That way you'll be saving time for the entire group and you'll be ahead of the team and you'll be the idea giver of the group. So try to find a solution a little beforehand so that the time is also saved and you are able to give your points easily. And very important is you should always pay full attention to what the GTO is saying. In between, when you get stuck, the GTO gives clear hints to you as to what needs to be done for you to cross the obstacle, which is why you need to be very attentive. You should not be too indulged in fighting with each other or trying to brainstorm and think of new ideas. These are simple tasks for which basic common sense is enough. In case in the heat of the moment you are not able to generate any ideas, the GTO is happy to give you some hints. So be very attentive and catch those hints given by the GTO. So that is very important. Be an attentive listener. You should be listening to ideas from your group mates as well as the important hints that the GTO keeps giving. And another thing is be a little bold to openly put your ideas. Like you may have an idea, but you might be feeling maybe this won't work or maybe it's a foolish idea, so I'll be embarrassed. Do not think that way. Be confident of yourself and be bold enough to give your idea out there. If it doesn't work, it's all right. But more important is for you to put the point across. And of course, you should not be always giving stupid ideas. They need to be sensible solutions. So yes, and another thing is do not try to shoot down when others are giving some ideas without even trying. So you may think that's a foolish idea or something, but just give it a second thought as to maybe it may work. Do not treat your group mates as inferior to you. Although you may feel that you are the most intelligent person, which sometimes might be true also, but that should never be the approach to solving these structures, because every one of them have come after screening in, they have come after some competitive exam or clearing a cutoff for their technical entries or something. So everyone coming over there is fairly intelligent. So you cannot assume that whatever ideas they are giving is completely wrong or not feasible. You should always be open to listening and take ideas from everyone and try to implement them. It is always not that you should be the idea giver or the group leader. A leader is not someone who just leads the group. It is someone who brings the best out of his entire group. That is a hallmark of a true leader. So try to be that person. You should bring out the best of each member in your group, and the group goal should be your goal. There should not be any individual ambitions like I'll show myself as the best here or I'll try to impress the GTO. That usually doesn't work. So the group goal should be your goal. Simple. And these basic things, do not forget any support material or the load. Sometimes it happens in the heat of the moment. You are too indulged in looking at solutions or crossing the obstacles. You forget to carry the load, or you forget to carry one support material, and sometimes you have placed it on the obstacle, and after you cross you are unable to remove it from the previous effort point. So that is also one thing you need to take care of. So these are some basic rules or tips you can follow for you to be showing your best in progressive group task, half group task, and command task. I have explained you the basic theory. I'll be posting some pictures after this session in all the WhatsApp groups. You can refer to them. You can start thinking of your own ideas. And honestly, these obstacle tasks do not need any physical practice. You don't need to go to an obstacle course and solve them practically over there. This is basic common sense. When you see a picture, if you can get an idea over here, obviously you'll get an idea over there also. These are not physically intensive obstacles where you need to practice on ground and then only you'll be able to perform. You can easily learn them online. And that is my endeavor, for you to get the concepts, for you to understand the theory behind it, and practical application is anyway very simple. So that was the first basic session on your progressive group task. And I have one more obstacle. I'll just show you. 1 second, I'll flip this camera. See, this is one example image I have taken. The start line is somewhere here and the end line is somewhere here. So these are the obstacles in between. You'll be given a plank, a pole, and a rope, and that heavy load, and you need to cross all these things. Usually some are just distractions. There may be something here for which you don't need to approach at all. Usually the approach should be somewhere from here to here, and here to the end, or something of that. This is usually a distraction. Or sometimes it may happen that there is no feasible solution towards this side and you have to take this route only. So that is all on ground, and you need to think, innovate, and implement on the spot. So these are some images. I have plenty others in my collection. I'll be posting them in the WhatsApp groups. You can practice them and tell me the solutions. I'll be correcting you in those groups. And command task. This is the basic theory of command task. Let me just flip this. Again, similar to all these PGT, HGT, and FGT obstacles, simpler version or less time-consuming version is given to you in the command task, where you will be taking the support of 2 to 3 group members for you to solve this. And the command task is a very important one, because here you are the sole authority. Whatever idea you have, that will be implemented, and no suggestions would be given or no questions would be asked by your subordinates. So this is one task where you can prove your acumen. In case you feel that you could not give your ideas during the PGT or HGT because there was too much of ruckus or people were just fighting among each other, command task is your chance to show that you are actually intelligent. So the same rules apply. Whatever I have told till now, everything applies for the command task. And I have a few obstacles. Wait, I'll just show you these obstacles. I'll flip the camera. See, this is one obstacle. The same thing. Usually there might be something kept in the center. The GTO can tell you it is a bomb or something, you need to defuse it, or you need to take it out from here. Usually there is no direct approach to reach this place. You need to bridge these obstacles and then reach this point. So this is one type of command task you can find. Or similarly, if there is no circular structure, there might be a normal PGT kind of obstacle course, in which you just need to bridge these gaps and reach the other point. So this is one type of command task you can find. There are plenty others. I'll just share all the images on these WhatsApp groups. You can practice them over there, and let me know if you are not getting ideas. And final group task, again, I'll just explain this to you. As the name suggests, it is the last task. You just have to finish one level of PGT. That is, in PGT you have these 4 obstacle courses, right? One such obstacle course, or what you do in the half group task, that one thing is given, and usually the final group task has no significant impact on your score or the OLQ points which you get. It is just to bond you together again and culminate the group testing series. So usually all the evaluations, everything has been conducted by then, and FGT is just a formality, you can say. It is a similar thing. Whatever rules apply in PGT, HGT and command task, the same rules apply. So I hope I have made everything clear. This is the basics I wanted to cover today. I have completed my presentation. Now it is time for you to ask your doubts. I'll be happy to solve them. You can comment your doubts. I'm reading them all. I'll be answering them one by one. Any doubts on this particular session first? We'll cover today's session. Any doubts on whatever I covered today? Just let me know in the comments. Later we'll open it to the general SSB level doubts where you can ask anything, and I'll be answering them. They should include BPET for candidates also. Okay. How much time is given? Usually for the entire PGT, around 45 minutes is given, but depending on the difficulty level, it may be lesser than that also. How to do well in story making? Story making, how do you do well? You just observe very keenly, and whatever ideas you get, you structure them in a manner. What led to the picture, what is happening in the picture, and what will be the possible outcome. And you include the emotions of the characters present and the actions they are going to take, and overall write a simple story. So that is the basic of story writing. Including BPET for candidates, that's a controversial topic. There were some rumors saying this de novo SSB will be coming up, and the physical testing will be included in it, but that never came into implementation. So that is not our concern. Whatever selection system is present, how to clear it and how to come out successful, that will be our agenda. Whether BPT should be included or not, that's another debate. Next doubt, do we need coaching for GTO tasks? You tell me whether you need coaching. After this session and after 2 or 3 such sessions, you'll realize you have mastered it, and I don't think you need any coaching. How much time will the GTO give to solve all the obstacles? I have told you, around 45 minutes for the PGT. And depending on the difficulty level, for the command task, it may be around 10 minutes. It may be even further reduced for you to have that speed, or to purposefully induce stress in you. He may reduce the time further, or he may take away some support material, or change the color of some obstacle for you to get nervous or commit mistakes, something like that. But usually in PGT the general timing is 45 minutes, command task around 10-15 minutes, and even in the half group task around 10 to 15 minutes. How to overcome domination in group? See, in the group, it is usually seen that some people are dominant, some people are submissive, and some people have a right balance. Sir, I have seen you at one POP of AFA. Acha. I have seen you also, sir. Jack Sparrow, sir. Coming to this question, domination in group, you cannot overcome it. You need to behave in a very tactful manner. You should not be submissive to a dominant person, or you should not dominate yourself. There should be a fine balance between the two. So these are simple group etiquettes which any person should follow, and that should be your approach as well. Next, how come you are in the army? Since one of my friends is killing it in the Air Force, and I was not as fortunate as him, I had to settle for this. So I'm in the army. Although I was in AFA for some event, I'm an army man. Is there any need for coaching for SSB? I've answered this multiple times. You don't need coaching. And in fact, most of the coaching academies damage your chances rather than helping you by giving you all these tips and methods to crack the system, which doesn't happen. The system cannot be cracked. You need to get recommended. That is, you need to build yourself to a level that the assessors would be happy to recommend you. You cannot crack the system. That is a wrong term. This is not an exam. This is not a competitive exam which you need to crack. This is a simple test of your personality for which you need to improve yourself. That should be the approach. So I would not recommend coaching for SSB. How to get in front of PGT and other tasks, or some candidate tends to take start and keeps them ahead. If you are the person who is generating most of the ideas and you are the person who is leading the group, naturally you will be at the front. That is the usual tendency. Otherwise also, if you are at the back and you are still giving ideas, you are driving the team from behind, that is also equally good. A leader is not someone who is just going at the front and pulling the group from there. You are driving the group or not? That is the question you need to answer. Whether you are at the front or whether you are at the back physically, it does not matter. Being at the front means at the leadership level, are you at the front? Are you pulling the group forward? Are you pushing the group from behind? That matters, not your physical presence. So I hope I answered that question. Any app which helps for GTO tasks? There's no specific app as such for SSB GTO tasks. But these common puzzles which you find if you go on Google Store or App Store, you can just find these IQ based puzzles. If you keep solving them, your idea generation is what is targeted here. So if you are a good thinker, if you are able to generate ideas, then automatically these GTO tasks will be easy for you. Specifically, there is no app to prepare you for SSB. As far as I know, there may be. Is this true that some mistakes bypass by GTO for freshers? Even for repeaters, it is the same. No person is perfect, so your mistakes are forgiven. Oh, you may be the best of the best, but still you will be committing mistakes. No person is perfect, so yes, mistakes are forgiven by all the assessors, not only the GTO. Can you share some images or videos of tying knots easily? There are plenty of videos on this on YouTube. You can just go and search rope tying techniques or different methods to tie a rope. There are some American videos I had seen during my SSV days. They had all these different types of knot tying and all. You can go through them. How can I get added in your WhatsApp group? You can just personal message me here on Instagram. I'll share you the WhatsApp group link. Simple. I have submitted psych assessment. Can you give me where I need to improve? Yes, you can personal message me for this. I'll be helping you with that. Jain sir, I have a doubt regarding medicals, which often demotivates me. See, medicals is something which is not in your hands, so just don't obsess over it. Just go to a military doctor or a civil doctor and show him the notification which you have got and tell him these are the medical criteria and I'm doubtful whether I'm eligible or not. Get yourself tested. If it is a clear-cut case that you are not going to be medically recommended, then I would suggest you to take up some other career because having hopes is a bad thing if you are already knowing that you won't get through. Otherwise, if it is a yes, then you can happily focus on SSB and get recommended. So it's a clear yes or no. There's nothing in between. So get that answer, see whether you are medically fit or not, and accordingly take an action. How to improve English speaking and fluency? This comes by speaking more and more. How much ever you read, how much ever you watch, English speaking fluency comes with speaking only. So you need to start talking. Start with talking in your family or within your close friend circle. Or if you are not confident enough to do that also, just start off by speaking in front of the mirror. You'll be making mistakes initially, it's okay. Keep practicing and keep reading English stuff. Keep watching English content. I would say watch movies, documentaries, web series, anything in English. The more and more you see English content, you'll grasp the English speaking skill and naturally you'll be able to speak as well. But it's a time taking process. it will take a few weeks or months for you to improve. So be consistent. How can we prepare for GTO task? All these which I covered till now, GTO outdoor tasks I have already told. For the indoor tasks also, there are some basic things you need to do. For all the group discussions, group planning, exercise, everything, you should just have a basic idea of what the test is. And for that, what you require. Like, let's say for the group discussion, you need some level of general awareness and touch with current affairs, or in general, the communication ability or convincing the group, all these qualities. So you can build on them yourself by just participating in like-minded groups. Like, I've created these WhatsApp groups in which every day we keep conducting these sessions and you keep practicing your skills. The intention is not to get mastery of certain task. The intention is to make you aware of where you are lacking and for you to target that weak area and work upon it. So that should be your approach. Performing well in each task doesn't matter. Overall, improving your quality to an extent where you'll be easily recommended. That will ensure your recommendation. So that should be your approach. When he qualified CDS written, घर वालों को लगी बेटा ऑफिसर बन गया. Okay. Sir, what do you feel while serving to country, and if you were not in army, then how will your life be different from current? What do you get from army that you never could get from any other profession? This is a very extensive topic. I can answer this for hours together. I have just 8 minutes to end this session. Instagram allows a maximum of 1 hour, so I'll answer this question any other time, buddy. Medical questions I won't be answering today. I'm sorry. I'm not competent enough to answer these questions. Please consult a doctor or wait for some military doctor to come on our platform and address your doubts. Face reveal, no. Thank you. You are welcome, guys. I hope I've answered all your doubts. How to overcome lack of confidence? By just becoming more competent. When you are having that inner confidence that you are good, automatically you will feel confident. So you need to improve on all other areas. Confidence is a consequence of improving yourself overall in other qualities. That would be a simple answer to that. Although there are other aspects to it, confidence comes from your upbringing, whatever you have done till now in your life, everything. It's a gradual process. If you are very underconfident, then there has been a wrong approach to your life till now. You need to work on it. You need to recognize where you can improve, and accordingly we can work on it. Keep on continuing classes like this. This will be helpful. Yes, I will do that. Every weekend I am planning to go live and cover certain important topics like these. How to improve imagination? For imagination, it's another big topic. We are almost out of time. Let me cover the simple questions first. I'll come to these extensive questions later. May I know your surname so that I can save your name in contact? No. Army brat or civil background? I am from a complete civil background. I was not an army brat. Jai Hind. Did you upload this session on channel? Not yet. This is a live recording going on. So as soon as I get this, I'll be uploading it on YouTube. So you can watch it there. There are new sets of questions in OER these days. From where to practice? See, it does not matter what questions are being asked in OER. It's a basic aptitude test. So if you have worked on your brain, if you have worked on your intelligence quotient, then any OER which comes, you'll be able to crack easily. So you don't need to practice every OER set which comes in the SSB beforehand. There are some things which you can solve on the spot also. Overall, whatever questions have been asked till now, you can practice them. You can master those questions. And if anything new comes up, you should be competent enough to solve them on the spot. So there's nothing much you can do for all new kinds of tests which keep coming. Next, I think I've covered all the doubts. How to boost preparation for SSB? There's no preparation required for SSB, as I always tell. In spite of that, if you want to boost your preparation, then just keep practicing. Like keep talking to like-minded people, keep improving yourself on a daily basis. So improve your lifestyle in your daily routine, bring about some important changes which will gradually shift your personality. So that is how you can effectively prepare for SSB. You are an ex-NDA? No, I'm not an ex-NDA. Next. We have last 3 minutes, guys. Any final doubts you have or any closing statements you want to make? And big thank you from my side for all those who joined. In PPDT, some SSB boards, the assessors say that to circle the character you see first, but some said that it should be the main character. Sir, what is the purpose behind it? You don't need to worry about all these things here. Why do people ask me questions about the system? Like, why is the system designed this way? What is the logic behind it? Why should an aspirant know all this? That is the headache of the assessor and the mentor. So I need to worry about these things. What is the logic behind, how to train people accordingly? All that is our headache. Your headache is just to solve whatever has been given to you. Just follow the instructions and perform accordingly. That's all. मैंने रीजनिंग के बहुत क्वेश्चंस किए थे, बट स्क्रीनिंग में कुछ अलग ही, मतलब बहुत इजी वाले क्वेश्चंस आए थे. कुछ क्वेश्चन राइट टिक किए थे. हाँ, दिस हैपन्स. You might have prepared very well and the OIR you got would have been very easy. So it's natural. Good that you found it easy. So obviously you would have got screened in. It's a good thing. Is NDA a golden chance for 12 students? Of course, yes. You're welcome, Ankit. You're welcome, guys. I think we are at the end. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll be ending this session in 1 minute. If you have any last 1 or 2 doubts, you can type them immediately. I'll just answer them and end this session. I hope everyone found this helpful. Like, type in how this session was, guys, whether it was helpful or how I need to improve. Like, any feedback you have, both positives and negatives, please type in how you found it. Like, whether it was valuable or I need to improve in some aspects, anything. Any constructive and negative feedback is welcome. Please do type. Thank you, Praful. Prajapati, you are welcome. Okay, you were out because of story. I'm sorry to hear that. Practice a little. PPDT practice sessions we keep conducting twice or thrice a week. So just take part in them. It is free of cost. Improve yourself and go well prepared for the next attempt. I got recommended through CDS entry, Patil. Helpful, but screen sharing. On Instagram, I don't know how screen sharing can be done. On YouTube Live, it can be. From next week, I'll be going on YouTube Live. Today, I couldn't because of some technical issue. You're welcome, guys. I think we are done. Instagram is already showing me a notification. Last 1 minute 10 seconds left. So I'll be ending this session, guys. Thank you very much for joining. I'll be uploading this recording on YouTube in some time. Like, I need to download it and then upload it on YouTube. It might take around half an hour or so. So this recording will be available. You can just go there and rewatch it. And these sessions will be conducted every week. So this will be the approximate timing, 10 p.m. every Saturday. So share this word with all the defense aspirants you know. Let them also join and clear their doubts. And that's all. All the best to you all. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Jai Hind, everyone. See you all. Good night.